This is part 4 of our mini Premiere tutorial series. What we're going to be working on this time are transitions. Really couldn't be any easier. What we have here in our timeline is we have 5 graphics that are butted up to each other and 5 movie clips also kind of butted up to each other. And if we take the playback head and kind of move it across, you can see that our clips just slam kind of right into each other. But what we want is something that's going to be a little more gradual. So up here in our effects window, let me close those down so you can see where those came from. In our effects, you're going to see that there's a folder called Video Transitions, and we're going to open that up, and in there we have Dissolve, and in there we have Cross Dissolve. So what we're going to do is pull a Cross Dissolve down, and we're going to drop that right on top of the intersection between these two clips. And if I zoom in a little bit here, you can see that if I pull the playback head over that transition, you can see that you get to see a little bit of each clip. One clip kind of fades into the other. And that's why it's so important when we're preparing the clips that we have a little bit before and after what we select as the kind of desired resulting clip, right? If we didn't do that, these sorts of transitions wouldn't be possible, and we would get like a little warning that we didn't have enough space in the clip to do that. So I'm going to scale back down a little bit here, and we're just going to pull those effects onto each of those intersections. Just like that. And so now if we do a preview, we can see that the video clips are blending or dissolving from one to the other, but the graphics themselves still have kind of a jagged transition. So we can do the same thing. We can cross dissolve those graphics too, just on their own layer. All right. Super basic. All right, so now when we hit the playback, we can see that both the graphics and the video clips are dissolving into the next one. All right, so that's what we want. Now, when we get here toward the end, let's watch what happens. We get to the end, and it just stops, just drops to black right away. So what we can do is we can take a dip to black transition at the end here and put that in, and also do that on the graphic layer. All right, so now let's just back up a little bit and go ahead. So we have that smooth dissolve, and then we get to the end, and we just kind of fade to black on both levels using the dip to black transition, video transition effect. So that's going to be a required element of your test. And like I say, really couldn't be easier. So next, we're going to be adding our audio track down here. And that shouldn't be too difficult either. So stay tuned for part 5.